All right, good morning, everybody. This is Mike. I am here. It looks like I made it on time, barely. So if you're out there listening, I'm just double checking everything again. It was a big morning already. I've got a big day planned. I'm just checking my audio. Okay, audio sounds good. Let's go to video. Oh, hang on. Going to video. Okay, good morning. It's me. Wow, busy already. Started off a little advertising stream this morning to make sure I was going, and I'm glad I did. There was a lot more than I had anticipated. So right now, you should be catching me on all my platforms. So if you're out there, say hi in the chat. I should be able to pick that up. Getting everything going. Looks good so far. So, good morning. My name is Michael, and Michael Kyer. I use he/him pronouns. I'm streaming out here every day, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. I talk about streaming software, all sorts of different things to maybe help you get going. So this month, all month long, I'm going to be doing how to create a large online event. And there's a lot to go. There's a lot to put together for that. So every day or every stream, I'm going to be out here talking about one step at a time. So we're going to start off. I've got a lot of things to cover today. I'm going to try and keep it to an hour. I think that I may go a little long, but I don't generally like to go long. Just for, everybody doesn't like a lot of time on Zoom, a lot of time on streaming. It takes a lot of energy. So today I'm coming at you from Zoom. I've been using OBS for the last couple of weeks to get the stream started and monitor things. But today I'm using Zoom, so I'm streaming from Zoom to Restream, and Restream is a software that there's a website that sends out that signal to all my different platforms. So I've got a number of different platforms that I'm on, and that's what took time this morning. There was a couple of little hiccups that I had to figure out, but I think we got those settled. So we're going to be doing a couple of different things. I'm going to break this up into a few different parts so that I can kind of keep things organized a little bit. So I'm going to recap what we did last week real quick, and then I'm going to double check my stream. I've got everything running, but I'm going to double check it again after we recap from last week. 7 or 8 platforms, that's a lot of different things. Everyone has settings. So I know I've kind of harped on that a bit. Double check your settings, and it's because there's so many of them. So we're going to get to that as well. If you're here, if you're coming back, visiting me again, thank you so much for coming. If you're new, I really appreciate you showing up. So we've got a couple of people out there already, and so I appreciate that. I'm going to be dealing with chat and that type of thing as I go, so we're going to deal with that. So recap from last week, part 1, that's what we started with. In case you missed part 1, part 2, those are recorded, those are up, you can see those. And part 1 really is making that decision to go live. Telling yourself, hey, I'm going to do this. It might be scary, might be a lot of work, might be lots to do, am I ready? But you finally make that decision, that's part 1, And then from there, it gets busy, even more busy. So then part 2, we started with just a real basic brainstorm about what are all the different parts that we're going to go through. Who are the people we're going to be inviting? What are some of the instructions that we want to give to all the different folks involved, either the hosts, the co-hosts, moderators, your guests. So we kind of just did a real quick list of all those things. And then, a list of all the platforms that we're going to be going out to. So that was part 1 and part 2. Today, part 3, documents. All the different things that you're going to want to track and manage and organize this. There's a lot to do, and checklists are just amazing. All my air traffic controller friends out there, pilot friends out there, they're the ones just shaking their heads right now going, yep. There's so many things you want to make sure you've got it covered, and going through a checklist is a great way to do that, and there's multiple checklists. So we'll be getting to those in the next couple of weeks. Today, what we're going to do is just go through and lay out, create those, and talk about them a little bit, put a few things in them, and then as we go, we'll flesh those out even more. So that's kind of the plan for today. I'm going to take a second here, double check stream, double check chat, see how we're looking there. I think we're up on all my platforms. So again, if you're in the chat, if you're watching live, say hi. And okay, let's double check what we got going on today. All right, so many things. So many things. So right now I'm just checking my YouTube. Let's see. All right, we're going to do that. Thank you. All right. Let's see. It's playing just fine, it looks like. Yep. Maybe. Live. Looks like. Maybe. I think I'll just do this. Refresh that. Let's see if that starts up. Yep. Okay, good. Looking good. Okay, so YouTube. First and foremost, that's the one I got. I just checked that one. Double check messages there. Had a couple I had to delete. So if there's anything you see in the chat that you don't like, let me know. Get a hold of me. Put another message in the chat. It's always monitoring is one of the things that I'm doing. So I'm putting this together by myself, just me. I know that there are a lot of solo technicians out there working just by yourself, and it's tough. There's a lot to do if you're working on this by yourself. So I'm going to try and present this from that standpoint. If you're lucky enough to have a team working with you, you can start to divide up some of these responsibilities. And as we put together documents and stuff, you'll see that there's how we're going to go about doing that. So we're looking good. Right. YouTube is taken care of. Facebook. Let's double check Facebook. Always got to refresh Facebook, make sure that works. Alright, that one is going out just fine, so Facebook is looking good. Let's see, Twitter is looking good. My website, that's looking good. All you folks out there on Twitch, if you're on Twitch watching, let me know. Yep, that's going good too. So I'm good there. And LinkedIn, I'm going over there too. If you're on LinkedIn, say hi. All right, so looks good. Let's go double check my Restream analytics right now. So I'm going to double check those, see how that stream is looking. That's looking pretty good. So like I said, for each one of these, there's something you're going to be checking. So give it a little bit. Give yourself plenty of time. That's really kind of one of the first steps, is give yourself time. I could have used a few more minutes before I started this, just to double check my double checking. So that's always, it is what it is. All right, looking good there. Now let's see, what else do I need to check? Yes. All right, let's see. Bit rate looking good. looking good. Let's see, anybody in the chat? Anybody over there? A couple of people in the chat over on Twitch. Let me know if you say hi. Say hi if you're here. All right, so let's go. All right, we're looking good. I think that we can go ahead and get started proper. Okay, real quick again, my name is Michael Kyer. I'm out here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, streaming 10 a.m. Pacific time, talking about streaming and software and all the considerations that go into it. This next month, I'm going to be streaming about putting together a large online event, and then on February 19th, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to be doing a large event, talking about large events, talking about all the things we've been able to achieve in this next month, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have some just great presenters. I've got some live streaming professionals that are going to stop by, some content creators, and some of the best moderators out there. I'm going to have them in to say hi and kind of give their 2 bits about how this works, how all this is, how you put it all together. That's sort of what I'm hoping to do in the next month is show that. So today I'm coming at you from Zoom. I've been using OBS in the last month, but I'm going to be using Zoom as my main auditorium for my stream for the large event, because I want to interact with on video with my audience. And we're going to be engaging in the chat, both in the Zoom meeting and then across all of the different platforms that I'm using. And we're going to kind of go put together a list of those real quick in a little bit. But so we'll be engaging with the chat. We'll be having a Zoom meeting, doing all these presentations. Great music. I don't know if I mentioned that, but great music. So lots to do there, lots to keep track of. So today Zoom, and I'm going to use the share screen to share and show my documents, show what I'm using on there. So we'll be doing a little bit of that. And maybe, if I get time, I will try and switch over and use my OBS virtual camera to bring in a little bit more detailed scenes, instead of just my picture or just a single share screen. So that's where we're kind of at. Like I said, we're already 15 minutes into this. I barely recapped everything, sort of gave you an idea where we're at. But let's get started. Let's get started proper. All right. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is move my meeting up a little bit out of the way, and move that out of the way. Now, okay. So I'm going to start off by sharing my screen, and I'll be video. You won't see my video, but you'll be able to see my screen, and we'll see how that looks on the feed. That's one of the things I'm testing today. Sort of in addition to going through all these documents, I'm going to be testing how my feed actually looks when I'm bringing in more than just me. So let's go ahead and share my screen, and I'll share that screen. That's the one I want. And share. Let's see. Okay, that comes up nice there. We'll give that a second, see how that shows up on my YouTube. Make sure that's working fine. Refreshing. These are why you have moderators. But if you're doing it yourself, okay. So on YouTube, you've got little picture of me up in the top right-hand corner, and so now I know how Zoom is going to display my share screen onto YouTube. And you got your little Zoom watermark in there. When I'm using OBS, that's one of the ways to get around the watermark if that's one thing you don't want to use. But today, that's good. Creating title looks good. Description looks good. Okay, we're doing pretty good so far. Feed looks pretty good. Video, let's double check the audio on that. Okay, so I've got some audio doubles. Okay, yeah, so I had, when I started streaming to Zoom, I switched over, and I had that video playing in the background. So if you heard that extra, that sort of echo, that's what that was. So keeping all these things straight is sort of like key to this. Let's see now. You can see I'm not going to be capturing my cursor. Okay, so let's get started. I know I've said that like, I don't know, 3 times now. So I'm going to, this is the fun part. This is, you know, the administrative end of things. So we're going to be creating some documents, and then starting that up. All right, so here we go. Finally. All right, Google Drive. Basic Google Drive folder. I use Google a lot. I like Google, and it's really a great way to share the stuff that we're making, all these documents. Word documents, you know, slides, that type of thing. Now you may be using additional documents, Microsoft or some Mac product, but it's all basically the same idea. We're creating one centralized folder. I need to move that. I'm getting distracted looking at myself. Using one centralized folder to put all this stuff together and keep it kind of straight, and then share it in whichever ways, you know, whatever way we're going to be using. This again, I got lots to move around. Okay, so lots to move around. Yeah, sure, Mike, sure. Where is everything? I do appreciate the patience. Sometimes I get lost in Windows. That's what you can do very easily, is get lost in Windows. So just to double check in that I've got what I want. Template. Okay. So first of all, I start off with planning notes. And there was just a real quick list in there, so all I'm going to do is start off with that, a Google document. All right, I'm going to open that up, and that's just going to be, we're just going to call this your planning notes. Now, this is for, you know, these are your planning notes. Anything that you're going to want that you think is important in here. So I usually put in my email contact, Michael at michaelkire.net. Email contact, whoever your main email contact is. Any of your other co-hosts could go in here. But this is going to basically be a beginning repetition of the things that we did from last week. So anything you want to keep in mind. One of the things that I first and foremost is to that I like to do is to state my pronouns. Using your pronouns, it's really important, and if you're not into that practice yet, when you're introducing yourself, that's a good thing to do. I use he/him pronouns. So I'm going to just, you know, make a note that that's one of the things that I want. I'd like my hosts and co-hosts to use. It's important for a number of reasons. So use your pronouns. That's one of the things. Another quick note was we're not going to be swearing. So if there's swearing and stuff like that might want to pop up in the chat, that's one of the things we're not gonna keep on our list. We're not going to do that. So from here, planning notes, we're going to flesh these out even more as we go. But so anything that's important, anything that runs up, you can edit this. If you're sharing this with somebody else, you can edit this at the same time. That's a pretty neat thing. Have somebody else on here. You can collaborate right here on this document. Keep everything all organized. So I think that looks good to start. Like I said, we'll be filling that in more. So we'll go back here to our main folder. We'll give that a second to update and make sure that updates. So we've got our first document. Woo, I know this is so boring, but it's really important, a planning notes document of some sort. So then next thing I'm going to want to create is, let's see, I'm going to want a blank spreadsheet, a guest list. I'll be doing a registration form. This is a registration form I've got up here, but it's a guest list. So that's all that's going to be, this one all by itself, so that I can keep that straight of who's showing up, who's coming. And for my event, all I'm going to really do is collect the name, email, your preferred pronouns. I like to know, I'd like to be able to use your pronouns. So hopefully, if you RSVP for the event, you can provide those. But on here, you can collect any other information that might be important for your event. If there's any special considerations that an audience member might have for accessibility, or particular contact information that you might need from them, this would be a great place to start it. So a guest list. So we're going to definitely have a guest list. And now I'm going to show up. I'm just going to be, me. MichaelKyer.net, and my pronouns are he, him. So that is, we've got one person coming anyway. This is going to be a large event. It will easily go over 100, so we're going to have the larger Zoom meeting. But we're going to probably be a few hundred people at this, at least, right now that I know of. So, a spreadsheet to keep some of this in order is a great idea. All right, so we've got that one. Let's go back to this guest list. What else are we going to need? Order of events. So there's two things here. If you are putting together something that's scripted, where you've got what people are going to be saying, a lot of folks start off with just a script, and they'll put in all of their scene changes or the technical instructions in that script. So whether you're going to switch, you're going to spotlight somebody, or you're going to turn the chat off, or there's some a piece for the operator, they might be putting that in the script. And if you've got a simple event, that works. That works as a great starting point to get moving. But as things get more complicated, you're going to have more instructions, so we're going to want to be putting that into a separate document. So if you're starting off a real simple order of events, or agenda, you can call it an agenda, whichever. I guess in this case, I'll just call it an agenda because this is, it's simple enough. That's my agenda. So for this, what is the agenda for the show? We're going to do a real quick intro, and welcome. We're going to put out some real quick tech instructions. And then right from there, I want to jump right into some music just to get it started. I mean, I know we're going to be talking about, events and Zoom and all that stuff, but we're going to jump right into some music. And then after that, I'm going to go back to a speaker and do the introduction of the event itself. So I'm just going to call this speaker 1 for right now, which is probably going to be me. But that's what we're going to start with, is just a single speaker. And because we're going to be demonstrating all of the different pieces of this, I'm gonna do a game. I'm going to do a game. I'm going to do a game in the chat. I'm going to come up with, I got a couple ideas to engage with the chat, engage with my different audience members on the platforms that aren't in the Zoom meeting. You can still engage them. You can still have them be part of your event. And so I'm going to use a game, but it could be just a session where you're asking questions. People are posting questions or answers in the chat or comments or whatever it is. So I'm going to go to that, and then let's see. After that, I had a plan. Oh yeah, we're going to go back and we're going to do a number of speakers. So we're going to do let's see, speakers 2, 3, and 4 to start using that spotlight. Okay. Use the spotlight function, multiple speakers, and so that's going to be one of the sections. Sorry, one of the scenes in there is with multiple people for that. And by that point, everybody will be probably thoroughly bored, so we'll go back and do another little bit of music. So after we've done the speakers, music, and get back from that, get that going, I want to use the breakout rooms. And there's a couple of ideas I had for that, and we'll get to that. But we're going to do a quick breakout room, session, 5 minutes, 10 minutes most, just to see how that works, just to see if we can make that, demonstrate that. So hopefully we'll be getting people to jump back and forth between some of those rooms to kind of see how that stuff works. So that was sort of the idea for that. After that, we'll get back. We'll do a quick, let's see, speaker 4, maybe, speaker 5, maybe a new person. Maybe I'll come back, but that'll be there. And I'm thinking another game at this point. I'm trying to keep, we're trying to engage the audience. So some sort of another game of some sort that we might do, including in the chat, or I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do, but that I think is something that we're going to do. And then of course an outro. Thanks for coming. Glad you're here. Kind of summarize things. And this is going to be a celebration. Okay, I'll be honest. It's going to be a party. It's going to be a great party. But you can use all of the pieces in it for your own event. So it might not be a game. It could be something completely different. So any one of these is going to be able to fit. You can craft it to specifically what you want to do, but we're just going to try and demonstrate all those things. Now, after we get done with the main party, we're going to have an after party or a breakout session. And the plan is to use a different platform. We'll shut down the Zoom meeting. An hour Zoom meeting is about as long as I like to go. It helps a lot with the audience comfort level. So being able to keep them, keep your audience comfortable. We're going to break out. We're going to shut down the Zoom meeting. We'll switch over to another platform. And what I'm going to be using is a browser-based program called, one of a couple of options actually. I'm thinking what they're called is a RTC, real-time communication, and what they do is they use the your browser engine, to drive the video and the audio. So it doesn't have the same quality as Zoom does, but there's some really cool ways that you can, move your little avatar around and still get a video group going, or move it around off to another side. So that'll be more of a drop-in thing that we'll be doing, but we're going to call that, let's see, well, I've got two. I've got Topia, which is one, and Wonder, which is another possibility, and then there's another couple that we'll check out over the next month to see which one might make most sense. So basic agenda, real simple. Again, we'll be fleshing that out later on as we go. So let's see, what else do we miss? Okay, so an actual scene list. I like to start off this way. Actually, let me take a break real quick. It's 10:30. We've been going about half an hour. Thank you for coming. My name is Michael Kyer. I'm out here Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, talking about streaming and streaming software. I'm doing some demonstrations, giving some really good resources for anybody who's streaming. If you're brand new, that's generally the folks that I like to talk to give you that comfort level to hit the go live button, get your content out there. It can be scary, it can be overwhelming, but I want you to be able to do it. We need good, positive voices out there, and it just is something that I am very, very dedicated to. I've been streaming for almost 2 years now. I started with my providing streaming services for my church, and we've been going every Sunday since then. And since then, I've learned a lot about streaming, a lot about how to engage with the audience, what works best, what doesn't work, new considerations. I mean, there's always something, but trying to share that and just put that out there, put those resources out there. So you can catch me on a whole bunch of different platforms. You'll see a list of those in a second, but you can catch me just about anywhere live. And the best place to go, though, is go to my website, michaelkyer.net. You can find links directly to a lot of those resources and all sorts of other information out there. So we'll be putting together a page just for the event on February 19th, which is going to be a showcase, culmination of all the stuff that we're talking about this month. So that's kind of where we're at. That's where we're going with things. We did part 1, part 2 last week, and we're doing part 3 right now, which is documents, which is boring, but critical, absolutely critical. Because when you're going live, there's a lot of things to remember, and if you get kind of lost or you drowning in Windows, you got too many things open, being able to reference real quick and say, okay, where am I, is a good thing. And for anybody else you might be working with as well. So I'm going to double check chat real quick. Let's see if I see what I've got going on here. Let's see, that's looking good. I'm going to go ahead. Live streaming, that looks good. Those are all looking pretty good. So I can pull those down. Yep, if you're out there in chat, this is a great point. Say hi. I love to hear from folks. I love to engage with my audience. That's what a lot of this is about, is how to engage with in this new video stuff. Engage with the folks that are out there. Engage with your audience. So, all right, we got a couple things, and we are still looking pretty good. All right. That out of the way. All right, we're still looking pretty good. So it looks like my stream signal is holding strong. That's always a concern. That's one of the things I'm checking in addition to all of the document stuff today, is how making sure that my stream is okay and is functioning properly. And I'm going to be bringing in, it's going to change, we're going to be adding additional folks into the Zoom meeting that I'm streaming from. I've been using OBS over the last few weeks, but now I'm switching and streaming out of Zoom. So I'm sending Zoom to Restream. Restream is sending out to my different platforms. So that's how you're getting the signal today, depending on where you're at. So, yeah, that's what we're doing, and that's going to change. That's going to increase the load on my system. So that's what we're testing out this month, is to make sure that that stuff works. All right. Frames per second are looking pretty good. So, okay, I've got a pretty good stream, pretty good signal today. Love it. Let's see. All right. So we've got our agenda. Now we're going to put together an actual my scene list, and keep this pretty simple, but we'll get started. And I'm going to show you a couple examples real quick of what the fully fleshed out version is going to look like. Oh, yep, this is. Let me go ahead and close that. Give that a chance to refresh. Planning notes, agenda. Now, let's see, guest list. We've got that one taken care of. I'm going to create a new document, which is going to be my scene list. So this is going to be a more detailed version of what's going on, and this is going to be a way to track everything that's going on. At any one particular point, you might be adjusting your spotlight, you might be doing something with your chat, there's any number of things, and having that in one place that's separate from your script is a really good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open my agenda. This is something I like to do. If you have an agenda or you have your script, you can just, let's see here, sure, you can just copy that real fast and put this in. I'm going to use my Control V, put that in there as my scene list. So each one of these is a breakdown real quick of the scene that we're going to be using. And I'm going to need to adjust this and one above because I need some titles. This is going to be my scene list. Now, there's lots of things you can add to this. Lots and lots of things you can add to this. How complicated it gets depends on how comfortable you are with using this. It doesn't have to be super complicated, or it can be very complicated. It can be, you can track it down to the minute, if needed for what you're doing. If you were running, a really high quality production show, you're going to have this really, really detailed so that everybody working on it, if you had a large team, a really large team, will know, okay, this is what we're doing and this is where we're at with things. So scene list. So from here, you could have the actual who the speaker is at any particular time. If you're going to have something going on with your chat or your spotlight, there's a whole bunch of different things here that you can continue to add, and then we'll be going through and adding some of those. You might have what your share screen is, and maybe let's see, share screen, and what else was I going to put on here? I don't remember. We'll look at it here in a second. Look at a bigger list. So scene list. This just a quick list of all the different things you're going to be doing. And for a show, I mean, this is only, a real quick, 14 things or so, so pretty short, but this can get up into I've seen them in the 90s, 90 different switches that are going to be taking place over the course of your program, and that's a lot. That's a lot of things. You're not going to remember necessarily 90 switches, 90 different things with 4 different things going on. You've got hundreds of options to remember. So we're starting off with a basic, spreadsheet here, but we can throw in color coding. One of the things I really like, and this is what I was thinking of, is script hyperlink. In here, you can put a link, back to that script. So if we go to my large online event, oh, we don't even have that one yet. And we'll make that one real quick while we're here. Blank document. This is going to be just our script, our actual script of who's speaking. Oops. Script of who's speaking. So then I can go to this and I can get my share, and I'm going to grab a link to this. So I'm going to change this to anyone with the group. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Anyone with the link can see this, and then I'm going to copy that link. So I'm done with that, and then I'm going to go back to my scene list, and in here I can just put a real quick link. There you go. Enable. No, I'm not going to enable it. I just want to, oops, paste. An extension in my browser. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's just see. Values only. Maybe. No, that's not going to work either. Okay, I have to deal with something. I didn't realize that was a deal. But I will go and put that in later. But this is where you would put a hyperlink to whatever it is, to whatever your document is. So let me deal with something real fast. Okay, a couple of things you have to deal with here and there. Don't like it, but you got to do it. So let's see, where was I? Okay, yeah. So we've got a bunch of different things here. So I'm going to show you real quick how detailed this can get. You can put in all sorts of different. We will start off with a basic version. I've done this before, showed this before, but this is a basic version of a scene list. So each one of these lines is a different piece of the scene list. You can put in your different cues. If you're sharing your screen, like with a slide, that sort of overrides everything. So this is a good marker that this is coming up. You can have a list of which co-host is going to be speaking, so you can put their names here. Or if you're going to be calling on an audience member, you can put their name here. Special instructions for the chat. You can be posting, a particular. Put what you're going to be posting. Put that script in here. Come in right to this spreadsheet cell. Copy it. Boom. You're where you need to go. So that we're not copying pasting. We want to make this as streamlined as possible. So that's one of the things that you could do. And on this one, I put 10 seconds of slop before a slideshow, before a slide presentation. Hopefully you've got you've practiced and you've got it going really, really smoothly. But if for some reason it doesn't, you want to have that a couple extra seconds. There's always a lot to do, so just taking an extra breath, taking a deep breath, counting to 1, 2, 3, do your sing, a couple of seconds in there. If you reach 10 seconds and you haven't been able to do what you're doing, something's probably wrong. But that's just a placeholder, really. And then in this case, there was a sound share for this one. It was a laugh track, actually. So it's different than a slide, so I just made it a different color. And then the black line up here is where we're starting. This is some basic information at the top. My set conditions. I have my waiting room on. I don't want people to unmute themselves, and I'm going to set up my stream. So set conditions, and then your titles of what you're doing. So it can get, it's pretty basic, but and now we'll go something a little bit more. Oops, not that one. Scene list, even bigger. This one's filled in a little bit more, but you can see here that we've got many more things added to this, right? Let's see, I don't need you guys in there. I don't need you in there. I don't need that in there. Okay. Much more detailed, much more filled in. I've gone ahead and highlighted this 10-second slop in here just in case. And then, explicit instructions for the spotlight. I'm going to add and remove a participant, but I want the co-host set there, so I'm going to be spotlit on the co-host. And then these are much more specific instructions that you can highlight depending. This is a situation where we're going to have all of these people on at the same time, so I wanted to make sure that that was something that we highlighted, and then a cue here for canceling all spotlights. That's important, and so then more and more and more and more. And so, in this case down here, a video and then a slide and then an audio share. Each one of those are individual switches that you're going to be doing. So a good thing to put those examples in there. Now, big meeting. Let's see, is this the big one? Similar. This one's similar. Just organized a little bit differently. Co-hosts, what their responsibilities are, stating that up here so that everybody's kind of on the same page, or then you can see here script links highlighted different color, and then what we were doing, greeting, questions. This is the actual section over here, which is this column alone would be your agenda. So this is a more expanded version of all those things that we've been talking about and working on. So, all right, don't need that, don't need that. Don't save it, don't need it. Close that. And we're back to our basic scene list. Very basic, so you saw how big and complicated it can get, but this is where we're at for now. We'll flesh this out in the next month as we go. But so for right now, we don't need those. We'll go ahead and close those. So agenda, guest list, planning notes, scene list. What else have we got? A slideshow. We're going to definitely have a slideshow. So I'm going to go ahead and create that one. This could be any number of things depending on your presentation. This could be just pictures. It could be text. It could be, it could be whatever you might be sharing. So we're going to, create that in here. Keep that in this folder so we can get to it. If we have more than one, we might create a folder just for slides, just for your slideshows, if they're separate slideshows. But that's one of the main documents that we're going to be using. So for this one, I'll just call it slideshow, just to keep it simple. And my one slideshow. And let's say I want to add a slide real quick. I want to add a slide. New slide, and we're going to keep this one. Everybody's first slide, hello world. That's just what you do. First slide you make, first Windows document you make, hello world, how are you doing? We're out here streaming, whatever. But this can be anything, you're doing. Just a real quick, if you're going to be using slides, try and use slide best practices. Try not to put text, tons of text, and don't, it's really boring. Put a bunch of text in there and just read through it. If you've got something that's text, try and go asynchronously with it. Try and send it in an email. put it on as a separate document. Make it available in another fashion so that you're not just reading a screen full of text. That can be very, very exhausting for your audience. Very exhausting. It's just one of those things that is, I see it a lot, and I know there's reasons behind it, but if you are a little bit more creative, expand out what you're doing a little bit, you can make your slideshows really much more engaging. So you're talking about pictures or graphics, something along those lines. So just a quick aside, because that's one of those things that's it's really important. So we've got a slideshow. All right, what else have we got to do? We got a bunch of things. Slideshow, script, we got that. We got scene list. We got my agenda. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So in this one, when we might be doing pre-recorded sections. So I'm going to create a whole other folder in here because it is going to be, I'm going to put my pre-recorded video in here all on its own, and I'm going to do another folder that is just music. That's just it could be your pre-recorded music, could be links. If you're using YouTube, you put your links in there. Keep that all together so that you can go right to it, because we've already got now a number of different things in this main folder. So this can start to get detailed. But if I go and add a list of 5, 6, 7 YouTube links in here, now you start to get really jumbled, really. And so, and again, we might come back and rename all of these. We might just put them in a list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of what they are. But so the naming convention that you use for your documents, for your folders, something important to keep in mind, so that you're just not throwing some jumbled title out there that is difficult to track, difficult to, what is this? Planning notes. All right, I think that's just about everything for right now. I am gonna make, oh no, I got two more I'm gonna put in here, and one was this registration. So I've already made this one, and I need to save it differently. But you've got your guest list. Oh no, never mind, that was wrong. Registration was the guest list. Advertisements. If you're going to be doing advertisements, putting a list of what you are going to say or have said in one area is a great reminder of are you getting all of the information out in a way that are you making sure that you're getting all of that stuff out. So I've got a couple of things here that I put together that I was going to use, but a specific document for your advertisement copy or script is a good idea. And so I want to move that to, where am I going to move that to? I'm going to move that. Actually, I'm going to start a different one. That was not for this one. I want a blank one. I'm going to want to be able to share this. This is going to be more or less a template. So I'm going to want to be able to share this with you, with my audience. So I'm going to keep this. That's one I'm going to be using. But so for this one, let's see. What was that? That was, what are we going to call this one? Not a new folder. Sorry, not a new folder. A new document. New document. Advertising script. Yeah, something extra. You might be adding more documents of your own. It could be any number of things. Oh, I know another one I was going to add. In addition to the advertising script itself, you might have another Excel spreadsheet, not Excel, sorry. Google Slides that is your post tracking of which posts have you actually put out. We got what we've said, but we got them to all the different platforms that we're going to be using. So this is what I was going to show you earlier. So date, and then a list of every single one of those platforms. So I'm going to go through and put my platforms on here, and then you can color code them. Do you need to go back to them? Do you need to edit them? So I've got my site, I've got YouTube, I've got my Facebook profile, and then I've got a Facebook page, and then a Facebook group. So those are 3 different Facebook things. Let's see, I've got, Twitch. I gotta say hi to Twitch, make sure I got stuff posted on there. Let's see, I got LinkedIn, gotta get stuff out to them. Who else have I got? Twitch, it's just Facebook. I think that is Instagram, can't forget Instagram. Mine's not set up yet, but it will be. So let's see, is that everybody? I think that covers everybody. Everybody. Does that cover everybody? I think. Yep, I think that's everybody. So, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, Instagram. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Okay, so today's date, I actually did a couple from last week. So today I'm going to go -10-2022. Yay! So I know this is going to be on YouTube, so I'll come back to this. My Facebook profile, yes, I haven't done these ones yet. I'm going out to Twitch already, LinkedIn's already, and I'm on my site already. So those are the ones I'm live to right now, but these other ones I got to go back and post manually. I'm using a free Restream account, so I can only stream to the one Facebook, my Facebook profile. So that's one of the limitations of the free version of Restream, but we'll come back here and update this regularly. Just keep an eye on, are we getting all of that information, broadcasting this out to everybody that we're looking for. If you're not using any of these, if you're only going to YouTube or you're only going to your website, obviously you won't need this. But like I said, this is going to be a big event. I've got a lot of different. I almost forgot the most important one: my Discord. Actually, and there are 2 Discord 2 and Discord 3. There's 3 different Discord servers that I have to post on, 3 that I want to notify. Basically, I'm not necessarily going to be streaming live to there, but I'll be notifying them. So that's one of the groups that I want to make sure. So, like I said, this is going to be a big event. There's lots of, you can engage on any one of these platforms, either through the chat or watching the live feed, or in the Zoom meeting itself. It's not something I'm not posting to Zoom, so that's not on here. But the day of the event, those are, a whole bunch of different places that you can catch it from. So, all right, there we are, right about an hour. We got a bunch of things that we're going to be filling out in the next month, and so I hope that you, what was this folder? Sure. I didn't title that. Oh, I didn't mean to. That was the folder I didn't use. Okay, so a bunch of different documents already. I'm at about an hour. My name is Michael Kyer. I'm out here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, talking about streaming software, putting out some great resources, a lot of the stuff that I've learned over the last couple of years that works really, really good. started streaming with my church right at the beginning of quarantine, and we've been going every Sunday. And since then, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from a bunch of different people, and I'm trying to share that with everybody out there. If you're thinking about going live, if you're already live and you need some, advice, this is a great place to come. You can go to my website, michaelkyer.net. You can get links out to everything. I'll be putting together a page specifically for the event on February 19th, 2022, 1 p.m. in the afternoon Pacific time. It's going to be a great event. We're going to put all this stuff together, showcase all the different pieces. We've got some great streaming professionals. We've got some great moderators, and we've got some great content creators. We're gonna have some great music, games, everything. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So I think that is everything I wanted to cover for today. I'm sure that I missed something. If you are out there in the chat and you want to say hi, I'll be on here for a little bit. I'll be here for a little bit, but I'm gonna stop the stream right at about an hour. So it looks like we're looking good. We will get to the next couple of parts of this. Later this week, we're going to be going into graphics so that we can start putting in some nice graphics on the slideshow into our advertising. So we're going to do a little graphics work. So that'll be on Wednesday. And then let's see, what did I have planned for? Let's see, what did I have planned for next? Oh yeah, okay, so once we got some graphics, then we're going to go and we're going to run through all of those platforms one at a time, just to get the important things we need, the settings, where those are at, any of the live streaming considerations that we might have with each one of those. Each one sort of is a little different, so we'll go through those, and we'll be starting that on Friday, and always circling back, I'll try and do a recap. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope that you come back, see me on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific. If not, we're going to have you a chance to RSVP for the event on February 19th next month. Coming up pretty quick, believe it or not. A month goes fast. So I hope you have a great day. My name is Michael Kyer. I use he, him pronouns. And if you are eligible for your vaccine, please, please, please go out there and get it. It's good for you. It's good for your neighbors. It's good for everybody. We need to get ahead of this thing. I know Omicron is really bad right now, and we're trying to, try and stay safe. So, as always, have fun, learn, have a good time. And let me just go ahead and stop my share. There we go. Back to normal. Streaming out of Zoom. So I didn't have a chance to switch over to OBS and use my OBS virtual camera, but we'll be checking that out as we go, making sure the stream's all looking good. So just over an hour. I hope you learned something. I hope that you had fun. I hope that I didn't bore you. It's one of the things, I know that, people don't like Zoom meetings. They have bad Zoom meetings, but Zoom meetings don't have to be bad. They can be fun. And so that's hopefully one of the things we're gonna try and do this month is make some good Zoom meetings. All right. So that's it. I'll leave it there. I will talk to you later. All right. Bye.